Might sound weird, but stay with me, okay? You are not just a culmination of your own actions and your own will all the time. We tend to think that we are and that we are completely in charge and that everything is going through our identity and we're consciously processing this, but this is not true. And what I mean in this situation is that humans are very, very adaptive creatures. So we're not always thinking about every single thing that we do. Like when you're driving your car, you're not thinking that much, you're just driving it, or all these things that you do on autopilot, right? And in social circumstances, we also are running on autopilot a lot of the time, especially if we know someone super well, or you're just around people that you trust generally. You start to kind of just say things on autopilot, you get into the flow of a conversation. And that's totally great. That's not a bad thing at all. But it means that you need to be especially careful with who you spend your time around. You need to be really, really cautious about the kind of people that you give your energy and your time to, because you really do kind of become who you spend all of this time with. So, for example, if you are hanging out with someone and they are just maybe in a really bad mood and they're just like complaining about everything, just having an off day, okay, you are, as a friend, you're going to go down to that level and you're going to start complaining because you want to make that connection. Like you want to empathize with them and make them feel better by connecting with them and sharing this experience of pain. So then you'll start complaining about something. You'll be like, "Ah, this sucks," right? And then you will be closer because you said that, right? That's just how it works. So think about, on the grand scheme of your life, what these people do to you. Like, imagine if all the time you are spending with these people, they are complaining, just being very pessimistic about the future, and things like that. You are going to naturally, like automatically, you're going to want to relate to them in a meaningful way. So you're going to meet them where they're at and you're going to start complaining too. And this just creates a terrible cycle because, of course, you will have bad days where you're being super negative, and then they will meet you at this lower level of just negativity and pessimism about the future. And then suddenly you will wake up and realize that all of your connections with people are predicated off of this like complaining. Like that's really how you know how to connect with everyone in your life. And it's really, really sad. A lot of people will only be able to connect with people through this complaining, and so they will find something to be mad about, find something to complain about. And then when things are just good, it's almost like you don't know what to say and you don't know how to share the good moments with people. This also, it sucks your energy because if you go spend time with someone, they're complaining the whole time, then how do you feel on the way home? Like you don't feel super like excited to seize the day tomorrow. You're just feeling probably pretty drained, and like you deserve to be around people that actually lift you up and feel like encouraging about your future. And you deserve to be like programming yourself to be that way about yourself, because humans have this natural bias towards being negative. It's not something special. This is like the default. And that's why it's so, so important to stay on top of yourself and realize when you are getting into these habits of just complaining, 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 because it's easy. It's really easy. It's a process. Like you have to be consciously aware to be more positive and more hopeful that things can go well in the future. And then also be aware of how these people that you're hanging out with see the world and what they want out of their futures. And it's important because if you are constantly complaining and looking at the bad side of things, then you're not going to be nearly as willing to take risks for yourself, because you're not going to see that it's really possible for you to be successful in the end, in your future. You're going to be like, well, life just sucks anyways. I'm not even going to try. And this is how you give up on your dreams. Okay. It's really scary. So you need to be super aware of this and just surround yourself with people who lift you up. And if in your life right now you have a bunch of relationships that are not really positive and they're kind of fitting this, like, you connect about complaining all the time, then I think that's a great time for you to spend some time alone. And I'm not saying you need to cut anyone off or anything like that, but really prioritize not trying to be this person yourself all the time, especially by yourself. Like, it's so important to develop this skill and train your mind to look on the bright side of life because it will literally create a better life for you in the future, that you will have something to be happy about if you first are grateful and hopeful and more positive about the possibilities that can happen. So, yeah, just be careful. Be careful who you spend your time with and how you spend your energy, and make sure that you are staying on top of your mind and thinking think happy thoughts for real, guys. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.